Okay, welcome to Throwback Thursday. I've got a story for you, which it's also, I'm posting this on Christmas, so nobody's going to see it. So, the one thing that's a little embarrassing, nobody will ever see this. So, okay, I had a call center job for a long time, and every year they would take us to soft skills training where we learn how to talk to people, which was kind of a joke because early on, they just threw us to the wolves. We were a tech support type thing, and they just dumped us in this call queue where people had been waiting at least 45 minutes to an hour to talk to somebody that they did not train properly and about their own systems. And so it was, and they were pissed. And so just imagine taking back to back call. They're always waiting when it first started anyway of just irate customer after irate customer and justifiably irate. And this was a long time ago. Okay. So anyway, they take us to these soft skill trainings and they're kind of a joke. They're really a joke. They're like clown school. People are trying to be like fun, like let's make this fun and all of us are grizzled veterans are like get out of my face. They're like just get away from me. And they're like, "Okay, hey, why don't we break up into groups and come up with a script for these different scenarios like if you have to call a customer back and things like this." And we're like, I thought we were done with this when we were done out of middle school and high school. They're literally doing the school project where you break up into a group of four, and it's just as dumb as you think, where your two people go off and do nothing. One person writes and does the bulk of the work, and the other person volunteers first to present the thing. And that was me. I was like, I'm not going to get away. I'm too like the other. It was clear the two people that weren't doing anything right away, and I'm like, this is just so dumb that. I'm like, I thought I was done with this. I thought I was being a adult professional. Anyway, so the two people go off and do Jack, and then the other guy who was a tech, he was Australian. His name was Steve. He had a thick Australian accent, and so that's relevant in a minute. So he wrote up a script for leaving a voicemail for somebody, and then so we break up with these groups. He writes it up, and I'm like, I'll present it, I'll read it. I'm like, at that point, I had no intimidation because I'd worked with a lot of these people for a while in the group, so I knew a lot of them, and there wasn't really standing up in front of a room of people I know at the time wasn't that big a deal. The answering back to back irate call will do a lot for getting over a bunch of social anxieties. Like there are some things, I mean, I still have some, but most of them, you need me to call somebody and potentially not know what I'm talking about, no problem. Anyway, but it's more of like a trauma thing, not like oh, I'm so proud of the skill or anything. Anyway, so he writes it up. The timer goes off. We get back from our break or whatever, and then so we're presenting them all, and then my turn's up. So I grab his. Now this is Steve. He's Australian, and he wrote this. And I go up there, and I don't know. I've had too much caffeine at the time. I'm just being playful because this whole thing is a joke. It's not like I'm gonna get in trouble or anything. So I go up and I read off a tech support type thing where you're calling a customer back saying, "Hey, we weren't able to get a hold of you. We got a report about you're having trouble." So I read what he wrote and I just pull up the thing. I get up there and I'm like, "Okay, so this is for leaving a customer voicemail," and I'm like, "Hello, this is Steve with ASI Maintenance. I was calling about your DSL internet service. We got a report saying you're having trouble. If you could just give us a call back as soon as you can," and all this. And I just did it in the Australian accent, and it was easier for me to pick up because I'd just been talking with him. So I got like all the syllables and stuff. And I had everybody like, what I didn't expect was everybody started clapping. I was like, "What?" I was like, I mean, it was a great stroke to my ego, but it was like it was just something else. It just made the thing more fun. So I do like being able to pick up accents, and he had told me that he got the accent got him a lot more compliance with other groups if especially if the person on the other end of the line like what there's a less corporate BS and gate blocking with the female uh representatives of other departments. And I'm like, interesting. If I could do this more regularly, would this be hmm, maybe I should cultivate that a little bit more. And also to do this kind of um, thing where you jump into character. I think of this one movie I saw forever ago. I'd have to look it up, but it had Steve Guttenberg in it, and he was trying to remake himself, and he gave himself an accent. He learned how, and he had to have this centering, like getting in character line. And it was like, "My name is Lobo. I hunt alone. I need no one." Like, and he would just say that. And it's so it was both. I think that's what helps when you want to do a an accent and you get into character. And if it has all the syllables, that's really handy too. So it's the lows, lows, and talk about. The about turns into about, and but also if you find somebody that has a good accent, and also Ray Porter did a really cool video. He talks about how doing a good accent is like actually doing it a little bit lazy. You don't want to perfectly get every syllable because then it becomes this one note character. They're just the Australian or the Russian or whatever. He's like, but if you do, I think I'd found another video that did that. So anyway, yeah, do accents if you can. They're fun, and you might be better than you expect. I don't know if you're gonna get a round of applause, but that was not expected. So anyway, that's Throwback Thursday. Have a good one. Don't look for a fair fight.